Welcome to episode 102 of the FTW podcast. I am Harrison, and with me as always is Joe. Say hello, Joe.
Well, this is going to be abysmal. I can... Fuck this show. I can't...
Garvin, cut the
mic 5 feet away from my head because
Garvin, cut the music.
Loud and I haven't started recording yet because the software blows ass.
Jeez. Okay. All right. So that was Joe.
Yeah. So everybody's like 50 fucking decibels too damn loud. All right. I hate this fucking computer.
Okay. Rob, say hello, Rob.
Hey.
And Kevin, say hello, Kevin.
Sup?
Oh. Do we really have to go live? Alright, so tonight is episode 102, coming to you live on February 21st, 2012. We're still looking for some good show intros. We got a few, but what we're going to do is we're going to up the ante. We want to get a ton of these things, because, you know, when we're putting them in heavy rotation, we don't want to have too many repeats over the few months. Any intros set in will be entered into a drawing to win a free FTW podcast t-shirt. So not only would your intro possibly be picked to be put in the beginning of the show, we'll also add you into a drawing for a free t-shirt. All you have to do is call us in at 313-444-FTW4. That's 313-444-3894. If you'd rather just email us an audio file, you can send those into questions at questions at FTWpodcast.com. Just make sure to remember to include your name in the email so we can get in touch with you and cite you correctly. If you're new to the show, check out FTWpodcast.com for more about us and how to get involved with tonight's show as well as upcoming shows. You can read out, you know, we're on Twitter, Facebook. You can send us a voicemail, text message, email, whatevs. We'll be reading your comments and questions throughout the show, and we want your voice to be heard. Tonight's live chat can be found at ftwpodcast.com/live, and you can also email us questions at ftwpodcast.com, and if you're on Twitter, use hashtag FTWLive. We'll be reading all your messages on the air throughout the night. All right, so Rob, what was your absolute favorite thing about Impact? Go.
For one thing, I really liked the video package that they did on Jesse Sorensen with the injury and everything. I thought they did a really good job paying homage to that. Obviously, Taz, who has had neck injuries that have ended his career, he was able to give some expert advice on that. And you know, that whole video package, I would like to just save. And then the next idiot that comes up to me and tells me about how pro wrestling is all fake or whatnot, I'm going to show them that package and say, yeah. Tell that to Jesse Sorensen, who may or may not have a career when he recovers.
Yeah, exactly. But at least he's able to walk, which is, you know, the really important thing.
Yes, that is true. I mean, he's getting feeling back in his. He's getting more and more feeling back by the day. The doctors are optimistic that he's going to walk and will be able to resume a normal life, even if he can't return to wrestling. And as you said, that's the most important thing. You know, at least he's not going to be a vegetable the rest of his life because of, you know, one mistake.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. All right. So the rest of Impact. Moving on. What do you think about Madison Rayne getting a solid push to go after the belt? I mean, do you think she's going to be the one that dethrones?
You know, I have to say this is probably the coolest thing I've seen done with the knockouts in a while. I mean, the Battle Royal was pretty cool. I'm rooting for Velvet Sky all of the way. She wins, and I'm like, yes! And then Madison Rayne just runs right in and tosses her out of the, and tosses her over the rope. And I'm just like, okay, I really would have liked to see Velvet Sky get the push, but that was freaking awesome. I am kind of excited to see Madison Rayne versus Gail Kim. That should be, that should, almost regardless of who wins that feud, it should help push the knockouts forward.
Yeah, absolutely. So the other thing I wanted to talk to you about was Ion and Aries versus Shelley and Moore. I mean, do you see this being the kind of like shot in the arm for the tag division in TNA, or do you think this is more of just a knockout showcase kind of thing? Or not a knockout showcase. I'm sorry.
X Division.
Thank you.
That's okay. Hey, you're talking to the person who has on a couple of times, unfortunately, called James Storm Lance Storm. So
yeah, exactly.
I'm not going to judge, man.
They're the same guy anyway.
No, James Storm has more personality and longer hair.
Hey, don't be looking below the belt, man.
I think Zema Ion and Austin Aries put on a great show. I mean, these two are heels of pretty much the same caliber. They're very entertaining heels to watch in the ring. I think Zema Ion in this match, it showed to me that he did a good job of either learning the lesson from Against All Odds, or at least was able to focus on the match and try to focus against something like that happening again. And Alex Shelley and Shannon Moore put on an awesome match. I think this it'll definitely help the X division, but I think it more will give a shot in the arm to the tag team division, because the X division's been doing fine. It's the tag division that needs a shot in the arm.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, it's kind of weird to think about it. Shannon Moore with his history with the company, especially with not Double Stuff Hardy. What do we call the other Hardy?
Crackhead?
Not a crackhead. No, that one was too easy. Anyway, with Jeff, it seems like, with Inky, or with their history and everything, and then with Shannon Moore doing Ink and everything, it seems kind of weird that he seems to be the perennial guy to kind of come in and kind of salvage the tag division. I mean, do you really think that he's the guy that you would peg to do that?
Well, like they pointed out during the actual match, I mean, both Alex Shelley and Shannon Moore are tag team specialists.
True.
Alex Shelley could have a lot more individual accomplishments if he hadn't formed Motor City Machine Guns. But he formed Motor City Machine Guns, and that tag team is arguably one of the best in the world.
Yes, absolutely.
And it's been the same way with Shannon Moore. Shannon Moore has done a lot of tag team stuff, most notably with Ink, and he and his partner before they left TNA. Shannon Moore was really gelling as a tag team. They Ink had some great tag team matches. So yeah, it doesn't bother me to come to Shelley and Shannon Moore and say, okay, we need a shot in the arm for the tag team division. How do you guys feel about tagging up and beating the crap out of Austin Aries and Zema Ion?
Okay. One last thing, and then I got one last thing, and then we're gonna head out. James Storm and Bully Ray. James Storm is now the number one contender for the TNA World Title. I mean, does that idea excite you going into the next pay-per-view?
Oh, definitely. I mean, I've been wanting to see James Storm versus Bobby Roode for the title anyways.
Well, where do you see Bully Ray going? Because it seemed like he was getting a really solid push. We all seem to like him, especially lately. I mean, this wasn't a squash match by any means, but where do you see Bully Ray going from here?
Well, you could use you could have Bully Ray and Jeff Hardy maybe fight it out for the number one contender after the Storm versus Roode match. You could see you could see Bully Ray continuing to just get in the face of James Storm and or Bobby Roode, kind of push it that way. There are a few things you could do with him depending on how much you wanted to commit to him and how big a push you wanted to give him. Hell, put Bully Ray up against Crimson.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that should be a really good match. It would give Crimson, main event cred, which would be nice. All right, man. Sounds great. Ready to move on to SmackDown?
Sure.
Boom, Joe. What was your favorite thing about SmackDown? And how about the Great Khali and getting a solid push over Cody Rhodes and Wade Barrett?
Seriously?
Okay, which makes you angrier? The fact that the audio was so messed up at the beginning of the show, or the fact that Khali was the one who got it over Rhodes and Barrett?
Great Khali makes my head hurt, but I can take aspirin for that. I haven't been able to take aspirin yet for the ears.
Okay, there we go.
So for lack of Medicaid, Beck's dark. I think I can tolerate this one. All right, so Great Khali and Big Show beating Cody Rhodes and Wade Barrett. Oh, really? I know it's to pump up the Elimination Chamber match, but
still,
I mean, pepperoni nipples and Big Show against Cody Rhodes and Wade Barrett. They're halfway down his chest. It's not even on his man boobs. They're just randomly hanging out on his chest. Well, whatever. It's Great Khali. I don't know why they brought him back other than for the India angle.
They're trying to compete with Ring King.
See, that's a false notion. You cannot compete with Ring King with one guy. And I don't care how big.
If that one guy happens to be the Great Khali, you can, because he's supposed to be like the Hulk Hogan of India.
Yeah, it's like Rey Mysterio being the
Rey Mysterio of Mexico.
Well, being more popular than the president of Mexico.
Well, this is the thing, though. Rey Mysterio is from San Diego.
I know, but you know how long he spent down in Mexico?
Right.
Regardless.
Yeah.
Daniel Bryan beat Sheamus by DQ after Daniel Bryan comes to the ring, talks about concussing Randy Orton, saying he's going to win the Elimination Chamber, tells Lillian Garcia to announce him as the winner by forfeit, and then Teddy Long comes out and hands him Sheamus. And Bryan wins by spitting in Sheamus' face, and Sheamus gets this rage on his face like, I'm going to fuck you up, and just pummels him until the ref calls the DQ. Jinder Mahal beat Ezekiel Jackson. I feel really bad for Ezekiel Jackson.
Yeah, and then you got to feel worse for him on Raw, but we'll get to that.
So now it's Tamina Snuka and Alicia Fox beating Beth Phoenix and Natalya.
Yeah,
it bothers me that all of a sudden they're deciding to really use her last name. When
they're name dropping it, and they're name dropping it to give, credence to the Divas division.
Right, and don't get me wrong, I am enjoying watching Tamina wrestle. She can wrestle. Now they kind of cleaned up her look, like I said in the pre-show on Sunday. She's got a good look, a good gimmick, even though she's kind of stealing the Melina thing, but at least she's not doing the rape scream. But now they're slapping the Snuka thing all over it. Now she's her daddy's daughter kind of thing. And I'm like, I know that's always been part of the push, but all of a sudden just starts slapping the name on.
Now, I wanted to ask you something here real quick, Joe.
Yeah.
I missed SmackDown as usual, but I got a text from Diva Jill on it, and she was going on about how she thought Natalya might be in TNA soon because apparently they stuck with WWE is still sticking with the fact of Natalya having like huge can kill a man gas, and apparently farted and nearly knocked the referee out while she had Alicia Fox in the sharpshooter or something.
No.
Yeah, I mean, this is the worst gimmick. I mean, just eyes bugging over her head. Like, the one week she's talking to Tyson Kidd, and all of a sudden she's like, it's just so horrible, blah, 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 blah. And Tyson Kidd's like, hey, it happens to everybody. And she's like, what are you talking about? And he's just like, your gas? And she's like, no, I was talking about feelings. And he's like, what? And she's like, and I'm like, oh, seriously? I mean, you might as well have her shooting it out the front. Just queef.
Wow.
Joe. It's just bad. This is just bad.
Well, and this was the same kind of thing that they did with Mickie James right before she left, making fun of her about how she's, not diva size, about how she was too fat.
Oh, well, that was to bury her before she got to TNA.
But at least that angle was like, no, I'm a real woman.
Yeah.
And it was supposed to be a positive appearance thing because the good girl, the face, isn't, bone skinny like McCool.
Yeah, because I actually liked that. I thought it was a good angle, and I thought, it was... Yeah. I liked where they went with that.
But then the WWE shit on it, though, when they did the Bellas doing the exact opposite. Oh, you're too skinny. Oh. Have you looked in the mirror, Bellas?
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so before we move on to the Elimination Chamber, Santino Marella in arguably the main event match. Now, when you saw that, did you get that that kind of hope that, oh my God, we're actually going to see Santino get a push?
I thought we would, and but I was hoping, but then I'm like, no, Christian's going to take him out on the way to the Elimination Chamber and get involved.
Yeah, I saw that you put that on Facebook. Yeah, that was pretty apt.
Especially after they announced that he was in Milwaukee, as was supposedly Rey Mysterio.
Yeah, I thought for sure Rey was going to make an appearance. Okay, all right. So good on SmackDown. You ready to dive into Elimination Chamber?
Bring it.
All right. Before we get into Elimination Chamber, fun fact: the winner of the predictions for the Elimination Chamber is Rob.
Holy shit! What?
Rob, you won, which means you also have 8. Which means as of right now, everybody is in first place except for Garvin.
Oh, nice. Garvin, man. Hey, like I said a couple weeks ago, and I mean it, man. Your picks would make for some awesome wrestling federation, so don't feel too bad about it, buddy.
No. Feel terrible, dude. You're the only one not in first place in a race between 5 people. How could this The only thing that could make this worse is if somehow we penalized you and took away your 2 wins.
I appreciate that you're taking out of context when I actually started this. I started later than you guys did.
I don't care.
Just say it.
That's right. You did start later than us, didn't you?
We're all in first place, except for him. Does that not blow anybody else's mind?
It's just amazing that it took a whole year and we got to the same point that we started with.
Yep, and we're here.
It's just like we got 2 to go. Wasn't it a fun run?
So now how pissed are you going to be if the next pay-per-view Garvin wins? So we're all still stuck in this lock.
Well, here's the thing. Next pay-per-view is TNA, and then the final pay-per-view, which possibly could decide it, will be WrestleMania. Just because we're all going to possibly be in the room together, so I think that'd be a good time to end it. But how pissed do you think I'm going to feel if I lose this goddamn thing? Because I had a 3 pay-per-view lead at one point, and all 3 of Jag-offs have caught up to me.
That's what happens when you epically fail.
I didn't epically fail. It just...
How did you not win those pay-per-views?
Okay,
that's a fail.
I have to tell you.
He failed.
Prevent defense.
Right.
Kevin's got it. I was doing the prevent defense, but once there was a tie, that's when things went shit. That's when things just went to shit for me. When Kevin and Joe both got, I think it was 5, and I was at 7, that's when I had problems because I couldn't do prevent on both of you. I couldn't check one. You just lobbed the ball to the other, and it went in. So I couldn't play zone. But anyway, so Elimination Chamber happened.
We're using football analogies here.
And then going right into basketball. Yeah, well,
yeah.
I don't really watch basketball. So anyway, so Elimination Chamber. How do you guys feel about standout moment of the pay-per-view?
Oh, where do you really... They started off with the Raw Elimination Chamber match, and that blew my mind.
Yeah, that was so weird.
Because I swear I figured it was going to be the SmackDown one. Because you figure all the really good shit's going to happen. You figure they do an okay job, but the lead off the Raw Elimination Chamber match was just phenomenal. There were so many spots hit, so many high points. Kofi, Miz, Jericho, Truth, Ziggler.
Yeah, everybody had their moment.
It's just everybody had good moments. It was awesome to see. And then the world title one was a slow start, but that one was awesome and it had great moments. My fail is the main event. Shit.
The ambulance match?
Oh, God, that was bad.
What do you guys think? Was it terrible?
It was pretty bad.
Kev? I'm sorry, Rob. I'm sorry. Keep going.
No, it was pretty bad. With John Cena and Kane, with an ambulance match, you expect a lot more. But then again, this is a PG, with the PG era and the WWE really trying to limit what they do. I was afraid that this match was going to let down, and it did.
Well, especially, but it had to go last because the pay-per-view is called Ambulance Match. Wait, no, it's called Elimination Chamber. Seriously? When you have 4 matches scheduled, and that festering piece of crap is put on last?
And 2 of them are actually in the thing that's the name of the pay-per-view.
Exactly.
Granted, I think Kane did a lot of great build-up, but I'm with you guys. Why? Why do you not have an Elimination Chamber match as the main event? That does not make any sense at all.
If you're going to do it, you put the Raw one at the end because that one ended with a face winning.
And WWE Championship should be the most exciting match of the evening.
Womp womp.
You make decisions like this, and you wonder why the ratings of Raw might not be as solid. Kupak talked about it last week. They were bad. I don't know what they were this past Monday. But why would you do that? Why?
Yeah, you're right on the nail there, Kevin. the WWE Championship should be the most important championship in the WWE, and they just continue to piss on it.
Okay. So brighter spots. Looking at the 10 guys, well, whatever. The total guys that were in both the WWE Championship and the World Championship.
12.
In the WWE Championship Elimination Chamber match, who do you think has the most heat coming out of that? Like as far as before and then after, who had the biggest transformation?
I figured Jericho was running hot for Raw, and then you look at the SmackDown one, you figured it was going to be, Daniel Bryan, or possibly Cody Rhodes hitting some good shit.
Okay. What about you? I'm sorry. Go on.
But really coming out of it?
Yeah.
I mean, Punk was still hot. I think everybody in the Raw one just elevated their game. But
Okay.
the SmackDown one, Santino Marella was coming off so hot. Huge. He was definitely the man to watch coming out of that Elimination Chamber match.
Yeah. Okay. Kev, what do you think?
I mean, people love Santino, and Joe makes a really good point. It's just, for me to take him seriously as a contender, he's got to stop doing stupid shit. I mean, it's still
Speed
like
walk
a lot
isn't
of...
doing it for you?
What's that?
The speed walk down to the ring ain't doing it for you?
No. I don't even mind the splits. The splits to dodge like a clothesline. I don't have a problem with that. That's at least something to dodge a move.
Even the Ultimate Warrior pump up he did was awesome.
Yeah, I mean, he needs to. If you want to take this guy seriously, and he is obviously pretty over as a face, he's gonna have to make some. They got to tweak him. They have to repackage him. I don't even think it has to be anything drastic.
I mean, the epic
But
pop
you have to
that he got.
repackage him at least a little bit. I can't take him seriously as a champion. I can't.
Kevin, I mean, did you happen to watch the pay-per-view? Because, I mean, he put on a display. I mean, he hit all the spots. He actually had some great impact.
But then you follow it up on Raw with the same thing coming down to the ring. Not, it's...
I mean, we can talk about that when we get to Raw, but, like, coming out of that pay-per-view...
It has to be a full-time thing. It can't just be one moment of the pay-per-view.
I mean, you guys tell me if I'm wrong, but out of all the guys in the SmackDown Elimination Chamber match, who had more of the crowd just cheering for them than Santino fucking Marella?
No, that's a really good point. The only rejoinder I could give...
What happened the night after?
I'm not talking... I'm just saying coming out of the pay-per-view.
Joe, no, you have a fantastic point. The only thing I can tell you is that, in defense of Kevin, I love Monty Python. I would not want to watch them do Schindler's List.
I would.
That's the thing. The court jester... I'm sorry, the court jester cannot wear the crown.
Could have come up with... That's awesome, Harrison.
I'm telling you, it's an old adage. It comes from Shakespeare. It's the court jester cannot wear the crown. And that's the problem with Santino right now. You laugh at him. You're not laughing with him. And you love him because he's lovable. He's great. He is a phenomenal talent in the ring, Joe. You are absolutely right. It's not like it's not like no,
he proved. I mean, I'm just saying on Sunday night he proved his complete worth and that he has somewhere to go. Well, now, jumping over to Raw, the burial they did of him is disrespectful after the huge impact and huge effort and
I think
the
that
amount of power that he just pulled from the crowd.
Well, if I remember...
Actually, you know what? Hang on a second. You know what? Let's just jump to Raw and talk about that right now. So, yeah, the burial. Go on, Rob.
Okay, I was going to say, if I remember correctly, Santino Marella is supposed to be... Before he came to the WWE, he was supposed to be like an MMA fighter, right?
He was, yes.
Okay. The way WWE should be handling this is like stuff like what they did at Elimination Chamber. You get used to him being a goof. You get used to him coming out and doing all this goofy shit. And then you get into a big fight with him, and he actually shows you that he can still kick ass. Mm-hmm. That's what I would be doing. I would be working this as... such a work on Santino. Santino, like, yeah, okay, You know, I'm going to let you guys laugh at me. I'm going to come out here. I'm going to play an idiot, and then I'm going to get in the ring and I'm going to beat the crap out of you. Which I agree with all of you. Makes what they did to him on Raw coming after Elimination Chamber just so stupid. I mean, people go on about TNA making stupid moves.
Well, that was clearly that was clearly damage control on TNA creative. Or I'm sorry, TNA creative on WWE creative part. They did not want Santino to have such a big pop. They wanted to have some of a pop, some heat going into Raw. Not that much. And I think that was clearly damage control. It was like, no. Out of this match, Daniel Bryan is the one that we want to have be the main guy, not Santino.
It was like, no. Santino, which part of you are an idiot
but that's the thing. But it's not him. He's doing everything right. That's the problem. He's doing everything perfectly right.
But I'm talking about what I'm talking, like you said, you know, WWE wants him to be the court jester. They want him to be the fool.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that's what I mean. I'm not saying that he's not doing anything right. I'm saying it's like WWE creative coming to him and like, dude, what part of you're supposed to be a joke are you not grasping?
Yeah, but the thing is, yeah, exactly. The problem is it's not his fault. But look, I would say any other time of the year, I could see this happening and then Santino going in and doing whatever, not going into WrestleMania. I mean, this is if people think that Apple is anal when it comes to shit, leading up to WrestleMania, WWE is even worse. So now, going into Raw after the go-home pay-per-view before WrestleMania, and you have the other guy in the World Championship match having more heat than the champion, yeah, you put a squash match and you end that shit. Because they gotta build Daniel Bryan for that match, and they cannot have it be, well, why isn't Santino in it?
Right.
It has to happen, but, you know, look, the bottom line is if he wants to be taken more seriously, you have to tweak him. That's my opinion. But we got to talk about more shit on Raw, just besides Santino and what happened there. So you know, overall, it's a situation of. I thought Raw was pretty good this week. I thought it was a good promo with Undertaker and Triple H, and I love Hell in the Cell. So I'm looking forward to that. Match with
Ooh. Are we gonna have a lumberjack match?
That's next week.
Oh, Kevin.
Sheamus, Mark Henry, liked it. Kofi, R-Truth teaming up, even though that has no point, it still was a pretty decent match. Zeke got buried on Raw as well as SmackDown, which we referenced to David Otunga. Anybody else?
I can't believe that.
Kick some ass there because that's bullshit.
When I saw that, I got so excited because I was like, oh my god, we're gonna have because Otunga needs someone in the ring to go up against with Teddy Long. I thought this would be great. Zeke can be that guy. He needs that breakout. Zeke is seriously, he's almost got it, and then that happens. I mean, it was like the biggest push up to let down I can imagine in recent memory. Where I was just like, I was so excited for that match, and then. Bleh.
I agree because I wanted somebody else, and they just bury Zeke for whatever reason. That didn't make a lot of sense to me. I'm with everybody else. I think it's a bad decision. But one thing I did want to touch on that I liked after we ripped Teddy Long and said that he was boring, really came strong this week, in my opinion. I like what they did. I like him fighting back. So I thought that was good, and I thought the WWE maybe picked up on it. So good for them, and this is the first time I've been remotely interested in Teddy Long, and I can't tell you how long. So I was interested in that. So the last thing I want to talk about on Raw, and the thing I think we all probably want to have a few comments on, the Battle Royal. I really thought it was a good idea leading in, and then about 8 guys got hurt in the match. I mean, it was, wow. I mean, Ziggler's laying, hits his almost hits his neck on the table. He's laying like a bent piece of plastic that you're sitting on.
He's bending the wrong way.
Or something. For 3 minutes because nobody moves him. Barrett's arm is completely dislocated. Truth's down. Ziggler's hurt. I mean, jeez. We are 40, as they repeated about 5 times, we are 41 days from WrestleMania, and that happens?
Now, one thing I wanted to say about the Battle Royal, you were right. There were a lot of people getting injured. But, you know, as I watched that unfold, And as I thought back to what happened with Jesse Sorensen, I thought this is one of the areas where TNA also needs to improve. The WWE acts almost like
the Meds were there.
Yeah, they act like professional sports. You know, something goes down, the referee does the little X sign, nobody moves the guy, nobody allows him to move, and the medics come running.
Oh yeah,
now,
it was great.
In TNA, Sorensen is severely injured. He tries to get up a couple of times, which could have potentially made the injury worse. TNA needs to start taking notes from like MMA and the WWE on how to handle on how to handle injuries like that. That is one thing I like about the WWE is, you know, when somebody gets hurt, the WWE is all over it.
Okay. Okay. Well, we have a call from Steve Credo from Marks. He's about this specifically. So we'll talk about this some more later. But Taker, Triple H, Hell in a Cell.
I'm on board. You know I am. It's the Hell in the Cell, and
but 20-0 as
fanboy. I don't give a shit. I'm on board. Fine.
Next week, Kevin, I will tell you why you are wrong.
Okay. All right. Fine. That's it. Nope. That's it. Next week, guys. That's it. It's been called.
Game. That's all I'm saying.
It's been called episode 103. Next week, everyone. Lumberjack match. Kevin versus Rob. Triple H. Taker. Hell in a Cell. That's it. That's the Lumberjack match for next week. Book it. Oh, this is going to be epic. It's going to be awesome. All right, you guys ready to move on to the main event? Let's get some voicemails up in this business.
Rock it now.
All right, cool. All right, so it's time for your voicemails. You can leave us a voicemail, any one of you that have phones and or internet. So,
some type of communication device.
Well, I don't know. Maybe someone's in an apartment. They have the speakers pointed out, and there's a homeless guy down the stairs. I'm sorry, buddy. Well, you know what? Borrow a phone. I don't. Anyway,
steal it from the people whose speakers you're listening to.
Yeah, exactly. Borrow it from them.
Send a carrier pigeon if you have to.
Are those still alive? I heard that they're extinct.
No, they had to use them for Harry Potter, so it's cool.
Okay, all right, good. All right, you can leave us. I thought those were owls. Anyway, God damn it. Anyway, you can leave us a voicemail by calling us at 313-444-3894. That's 313-444-FTW4, or you can also record yourself on your computer or phone device and email it to questions@ftwpodcast.com. Any file should do. Any file will do. Try and keep it under 90 seconds or less, and kind of close to 10 megabytes as you can. And state your name, and if you could spell it, that would also be great. No last names, just first names, because I don't want identity stolen. Anyway, first one up is Will from Virginia. You might remember him. He's the one who likes us so much. He says hi at the end of his voicemail. See if he does it again.
Okay, this is Will from Virginia. First of all, the Booker T argument as a black champ in WWE is shoddy. Leave us just to look to the Triple H versus Booker feud. You are telling me Goldberg was really worth all that humiliation and still losing the belt? No one is good enough? I find that hard to believe. Tell me what Kofi lacks besides booking compared to Swagger, Ziggler, Bourne, Riley, Ryan? Seriously, there is a bit of a disconnect here, and I'm sorry, but your reasons backing why there have been only 2 examples, 3, including Half-Breed Rock, which, exception not the rule, is shoddy at best, and I just can't let that fly in a discussion sense. It's not factual, in my opinion, maybe? Anyways, have a nice one. Bye.
Oh, he was angry? He didn't even say hi. Although he did say have a nice one, so that was good. Will, really good point. All right, look, I am a huge Kofi mark. The problem I have is, I don't know, I guess if I have to say the reason why he's not getting that big of a push, maybe, I mean, 2 things working against him are size and that he's foreign. But, I mean...
Yeah, but had they not said he was foreign, you wouldn't know. He speaks perfect English.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't know. I mean, they're kind of... I mean, my confusion is they book him first from Jamaica, then from West Ghana. I would prefer if they just booked him from West Ghana. But they're booking him from West Ghana, but he still has the same intro he had when he was from Jamaica. So
it's a catchy tune.
No, it is a catchy tune.
I think it's I think it's good for what he's doing right now. I think it's good. But I don't have any argument to counter Will. He's exactly right. The only thing I can possibly say is mic work, but I said last week I thought when he was put with main eventers, his mic work was very good. I don't have any argument. I'm a huge Kofi mark, and I'm with you. It's not, why don't they book him more? I don't know. He takes the tag division from nothing, pairs him with Everboard, and absolutely ignites it to a level we haven't seen in probably years in the WWE. Yeah. I think we've talked about a lack of mid-card faces. He would be perfect to insert in there. He's absolutely better than Swagger at this point.
Yes.
There's no question there. I think a feud between Kofi and Cody Rhodes would be... Anybody not want to see that? Really? I mean, I'm with him. I can't counter your argument, Will. I think you are dead on, and I don't think it's fair. I think it's bullshit, and he needs to either be put in a serious mid-card feud or take some bumps in the upper card and lose some matches. But I want to see him go to the mid card and be the face.
Look, Kev, I don't think anybody on the show is going to disagree with either you or Will. Any of our fans are going to agree with you guys too. To play the devil's advocate, this only thing I can think of is that traditionally in the WWE, cruiserweights don't do well. Look at Christian. I mean, he didn't do well until lately. Chris Jericho, yeah, but that wasn't until he just became that epic heel, And then, Garvin brings a really good point. Rey Mysterio, I mean, he kind of checks all the boxes. He's foreign, he's a minority, and he's a cruiserweight, and he does really well. But that's the thing. Rey Mysterio has mass market appeal in Mexico. I don't know what kind of penetration WWE has in Africa, and I don't think it's as much. So, I don't know. The problem is you got to think, how marketable is Kofi to us? Very marketable because he's a dynamic talent and he's incredibly good at what he does. But to the average wrestling fan, I don't know. He just needs that. He needs that same moment that Cody Rhodes had this year. That X thing, that point that took him from 8 to 10. Kofi hasn't found that 8 to 10 yet.
All right, that's fair. That's a good point. He hasn't had that moment. I'll definitely.
Yeah, I don't know if that's. I think
I still see so much, but you're right. There maybe needs to be that moment that pushes him over the edge. Okay. Maybe it's a ladder match. Maybe it's.
But that's a gimmick, though. It's a gimmick match, though. That's the thing. Go on, Rob. I'm sorry. Go on. You were saying he has had it.
Yeah, I think he had. I think he has had that like a couple years ago when he. The first big feud when he stepped outside of like the typical cruiserweights, and he had that feud with Orton, and he just destroyed Orton's car.
Right. That was a great moment, but I think
just went Street Fighter style. Right. And that's the problem is that he's had that moment. It's just that the WWE just doesn't do anything after he has those moments. It's like, Kofi, that was awesome. That was awesome. Okay. Now, next week we want you to do exactly the opposite of what you did today.
Well, no, that's exactly the point, Rob. Like we talked about last week, WWE give it, then they take it away. They wanted to give him that, then take it away and see how he bounces back. And that's the problem. He didn't really rocket back up like Jericho did or Triple H did.
But he never lost the fan support. That's the thing.
Well, yeah, that's true. It's kind of hard for him to rocket back up when they didn't put him against quality opponents. They kept throwing him against guys that he should beat. So when he did win, it was just like, okay, well, you should win. And then, on the rare occasions that he took on somebody that could have lifted him up, he lost.
Hey, Jericho jobbed for months after he got his big push.
I'm well aware of that, and I haven't seen or heard anything from the dirt sheets about Kofi Kingston complaining about that.
Oh, absolutely not.
About his role. I'm just saying is that it's one thing to job and to go through that and everything, but at the same point in time, eventually the company has to decide, yeah, we're going to go with you. And, maybe it goes back to, maybe it goes back to our favorite criticism. Vince loves big dudes, and Kofi Kingston ain't that big.
No, that's a good point. Anyway, Garv, you said you got a point?
Yeah.
Or a thought?
Well, we are all in agreement then with Will. I mean, that's what Will said, was that it's poor booking that is the cause of Kofi not being pushed to that level. Rob, you referenced the Orton thing. That's all a moment that we all can remember as being awesome. That's when we really started to look at Kofi as being a real contender. And unfortunately, they never really gave him that opportunity to continue. He rarely has mic time anymore. Like the first time I remember him having mic time in, a year where he said something legitimate was leading up to Elimination Chamber. Was in that stupid, discussion that they had in the ring with all the contenders. So it's definitely a booking thing. They're not giving him the opportunity that he needs to make it to the next level. So Will's right. Will is absolutely correct.
Yeah, I agree with him.
Okay, now my question is, when you look at where Kofi Kingston is right now, do you think Kofi Kingston would have been in the Elimination Chamber if Evan Bourne did not have his weed problem?
No. They would
Joe?
have continued to push the air boom.
Okay, Joe, Kevin?
Yeah, I agree with Rob on no, and I think he's exactly right. I think they would have stuck with air boom
Okay, Joe?
for a while longer.
No, I agree.
Okay.
The air boom the tag division would have kept going.
Okay, now do you think that this is another point that this is basically the crux of Will's argument, the fact that Kofi Kingston, all of us agree he's so great, the only reason he got a push is because another guy had problems, that Kofi didn't really, WWE didn't go, you are the one that we're going to go with. It's like, crap, we got to find a place for you. All right, we're going to put you here.
No, I think that's exactly what they did.
No, that's part of the problem. I mean, it's like, is that a race thing? Is that whatever? I don't know. I don't want to,
I guess, to me, that's not, he was a guy they had available that's got crowd, he's a face and he's got crowd appeal. There's no problem with what they currently did. I think the bigger problem is right after that, they set him up in a tag team with R-Truth.
I think there is a problem with that. It's one thing to get. I understand what you're saying, Joe. It's as long as you get into the big match, hey, more on you. But I think from the standpoint of confidence, as far as an athlete goes, it would mean more if WWE said, "Hey, Kofi, we've asked you to do a lot of shit work lately, man, and you've really done it. You've really been a champ. You've really done everything we asked you to do. Congratulations, you're going to be in the I can talk.
match. Yeah,
Elimination Chamber match. We're going to give you that chance. We're going to see what you can do. The crowd's stuck behind you through everything you've been through. We're going to give you the Rocky treatment and see if you can pull off and see if you can knock Apollo Creed down."
Well, in this one, but Apollo was black.
This is true.
Yeah. All right. See, now we're doing the basketball football analogies, and we're mixing those up. Anyway, look, Will, you're absolutely right, man, and we are 100% behind you on that. And I personally am looking forward to seeing where Kofi goes on the road to WrestleMania, because I gotta say, if you want to see if he's going to be main event in this year, he's got to be on that pay-per-view. If he's going to have any kind of credible push, he's got to be on He's got to be on the card in some capacity, preferably in a singles match. So, all right. So next voicemail we got is Steve Credo from the Marks Facebook group, and Steve Credo and the Marks guys, they also have a podcast. I guess this is how they're going to market themselves. But hey, he brought up a really good point about the Battle Royale. So, Garv, why don't you go ahead and play it?
FTW, what is up? It's Credo from Marked Up. Question, two things really quick. One, Santino, after his star-studded appearance on the Elimination Chamber, do you guys think they will be using him in a more of a wrestling role instead of being such a joke all the time? Do you think it's time we could, give him a decent push, maybe drop some of the stuff with the Cobra and stuff, as funny as it is? I think they could make him a better superstar, especially with the reaction he's getting right now. And also, number two, with Barrett, that whole match on Raw, they could have lost so many guys. From Kofi, with Dolph and Barrett now. They could have lost a lot of guys for WrestleMania. Do you see anybody stepping up right now with the loss of Barrett and I don't know who else is really badly injured, but so far it just looks like it's him. But do you guys see anybody else maybe stepping up and replacing him for a little bit while he's out? Thoughts on that and the whole injuries going on for the past 3 weeks? It's been pretty bad. And right now is the time you don't want to see any injuries, right, with a few weeks to go before WrestleMania. But that's all. All right, guys. Good show.
That was Steve Credo from the Mark's Facebook group. They have marked up with Credo, Angry Cooter, and the Raz and Albert. I know Raz and Albert sounds like very morning drive time radio, but it's a good show. We have it liked on our, or we have it, we've liked it on our Facebook. Go to our Facebook page, you'll find a link on it. Anyway, so the 10-man Battle Royale on Raw took its toll on the talent. Barrett ended up with a nasty, dislocated elbow, at which point he swore and it got bleeped. Truth needed help getting backstage. Ziggler hurt his shoulder after hitting the broadcast table. Rhodes hurt his elbow and leg, and Kofi was pretty badly shaken up. Of these, the ones that we have confirmed as far as injuries are Barrett, basically dislocating his elbow. Should be, I mean, we're getting kind of conflicting reports on what's going to happen, how long he'll be out, so we don't really know exactly yet. Given that the Elimination Chamber was the night before, and every single one of these guys was in a steel cage match, with WrestleMania coming up next, was this over-the-top Battle Royale, as Steve pointed out, an unnecessary risk?
Definitely. And I also agree with Steve Credo. This would be a perfect time to come to somebody like Santino Marella and say, okay, we're going to let you drop some of the goofy crap. We've got some people out. We need to put on a show. We've got WrestleMania. We've got our Super Bowl basically coming up. We need you to step up and see what you can do. They're not going to do it, of course, but yeah, this close to WrestleMania, a high-risk match like a Battle Royale was definitely...
The day after Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, it was definitely a bad call. I mean, you're looking for injury, and that's exactly what the WWE got. And they've been having injury troubles as of late anyways,
So what really sucks about these injuries is that the same things happened leading into last year's WrestleMania. We had a lot of injuries, and that's why a lot of people said the card wasn't very good. But I don't think it's a bad idea to have a over-the-top battle royal. It's just, what are the guys doing in that match? You know what I mean? We've seen it before. These matches can suck, and everybody gets out of the ring safely, but at least they did it. They could have done something a little more. They could have done the match, but just held a few cards closer to their chest and not had some, not done anything crazy. Just like, guys, get out of the ring safely. We're going to WrestleMania. We need you to be healthy.
Well, it's easy to say that, but at the same point in time, especially with the way that the WWE likes to eliminate people from a battle royal, I mean, there are so many different things that could go wrong. Even if you go over the top rope, you have to land properly.
Mm-hmm.
If you land the wrong way, or if you say, I don't know, hit a table, I mean, it's...
Suck it up, pussies. No, I'm kidding.
I agree with you, Joe. There's definitely safer ways to have a battle royal, but, even with those safer ways where you just have, one person, hip toss the other guy over the rope, if you land wrong, you can twist your ankle or dislocate your knee or something. Battle Royals are a lot riskier matches than people tend to think.
Oh, absolutely. Now there is risk in this business, especially when it comes to this, and a mistake can happen at any time. I mean, if you look at Ion and Sorensen. However, there is risk, and then there's sex, and there is literally sticking your dick into anything with a pulse. And this was the latter.
See, I disagree. Look.
Wow, we're gonna have two.
Okay, just you guys have your turn. Just let me speak. Hindsight's 20/20. All right. What if nobody got hurt raving about it? I know. Was it okay? Hindsight's 20/20. Was it at this point? Obviously, it was. But it was something I was looking forward to. 10-man battle royal, a lot of superstars. Good stuff. I didn't have an issue with it, but everybody got hurt, so, it looks bad now.
Yeah, I know, Kevin, but the problem with that argument is that if you take that argument, we don't have a show.
You're right. Make that point.
No, it's a really good point. Hindsight is 2020. It's very easy to look back at this and say, but this is the problem. I mean, you look back at this, and I mean, if it's one injury, if it was just Barrett, you have a point. It's like, this sucks. This is terrible. We can't do this again. It's just like real sports, where it's like, the concussion argument in football. I mean, everyone's talking about when and anyway, but when you have injuries at this scale from one match, when the night before was the Elimination Chamber, you have to think going forward, WWE has to look at this, booking this as okay, we might not want to do this again. Yeah. I gotta say, all things considered, one dislocated elbow, Barrett, you were screaming hardcore, and I know it hurt like hell, dude, but it could have been a lot worse. Just look at TNA.
Yeah.
So, the other thing that Steve brought up is, okay, so Barrett's out. He's gone, at least for the time being. Ziggler hurt his shoulder. Worst case scenario, he's out for at least a month. Rhodes hurting his elbow and leg. I mean, you're losing heels left, right, and center. Steve brought it up. Who's going to step up to the plate?
Santino Marella.
Maybe. I still like Kofi to possibly be the guy.
No,
I really do.
But you got three heels that are gone.
Three.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, if Rhodes is gone, because Rhodes hurt his elbow and his leg, we don't know how badly. Same with Ziggler, we don't know how badly. Barrett's gone.
Okay, so we're saying those guys are definitely.
Just say for the next. Yeah,
okay.
Let's just say for the purpose of the topic, those three are out for a month to a month and a half. So if the road to WrestleMania, you don't have these three guys, and you got to build up the mid card for WrestleMania. Who steps up?
Christian, Drew McIntyre,
Christian. David Otunga.
Otunga, I could definitely see.
I'm just looking at the SmackDown list right now. But I mean, you've got who else? I mean, who else you got? You got Ted DiBiase. Well, no, you don't want to turn him heel.
Well, given how things have gone with Cena and Zack Ryder, I guess you could start if you needed a big name. I guess now would be a good time to really start turning Cena heel to prep for.
But that's main event though.
Right.
You got to think what the mid card right now. Face it, in one match, WWE could have potentially blown the mid card of WrestleMania.
Push the Miz up again, rather than keep burying him.
Okay, that's one idea.
You've got Epico, Primo, Hunico.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you see this? But do you see this being indicative of a larger problem that we've talked about for a while? And it's like the mid card are seriously lacking in WWE.
I think they're just. I think the big bitch is that they're just highlighting too much the upper card. You know, the main event thing. We don't need Cena crammed down our throat. He doesn't need to do the huge monologue every week. Why don't you?
Mondays was pretty good.
I'm not debating that. The guy can work a mic.
Yeah.
Or he can work Mike. I don't know. But I think that if you took a show and actually did a main event from time to time, you could elevate your mid card.
Okay. Then you guys ready to do quick hits?
Quick hits.
Quick hits. Boom, boom, boom. All right, on Friday, we got a tweet from @thekilo_G who asked, what do you guys think of ending SmackDown and making Raw a 3-hour show? Personally, I love it. Then we saw Elimination Chamber, and Laurinaitis wants to run both shows. Long does now, too. So a few questions here. One, do you guys think this is leading to the end of the brand extension and we'll finally see one unified roster competing on 2 shows? 2, who should run both shows? And 3, do you have an interest in the idea that Kilo sent in? Go, Joe.
Do I think they should go to a 3-hour Raw? I do not. I really think that a 3-hour show is a bit overkill. I still think the WWE would rather dominate 2 nights of wrestling than just do one big hunk.
What about the other ones? Laryngitis, Long?
I don't like either one of them. I mean, I would rather see Laryngitis, but I'd rather have a third option.
Okay. Kevin.
I hate to say this, but I'm completely with Joe. 3-hour show, I think, is too long. Plus, it's not going to happen. They still make too much money off SmackDown. But irrelevant. If it could happen, like a 3-hour show each week. I think it would be too long. They have too many superstars to jam into 3 hours. I don't think a good idea. I agree with Joe. I don't like either one of them. I don't know who else could possibly do the job. Maybe Stephanie or Triple H. But I was glad they did something with Teddy Long and made him at least grow some balls. That was nice. So,
Okay.
It's not going to happen. I don't want to see 3 hours, and I really prefer not to see either one of those guys each week.
Okay. Rob.
I think we are seeing the end of the brand extension, and it'll go back to, basically how it started off. One roster competing on two shows. As to who runs it, I say lock Teddy Long and Johnny Ace, lock them in a Hell in the Cell, and whoever's left standing wins. Runs both brands.
God, that match would be terrible.
It would be so funny.
Okay, yeah, it would be funny. No, it's not going to end the brand extension. WWE loves their yearly gimmicky things, and face it, the draft is one of them. Who would run both shows, Laryngitis or Long? I really don't care. These are two of the most vanilla white people I know of, because I know Long is black. They're just...
Holla, holla.
They're beige. They're so beige. They're the Toyota Corolla of executives, is what they are. Well, no, I mean, and a 3-hour Raw, I mean, I kind of like the idea, but the problem is, our show, we run over all the time, and if we gotta do a 3-hour Raw, yeah.
Not to mention if Laryngitis somehow ends up running all of the shows by, Raw will start off, all right, here's what we're going to do. And by the end of the night, he's got no voice left.
Yeah, exactly. So you got to think, Monday to it's too, no. All right, real quick, when we're going to do this one, I just want to hear boom from you guys. The chat right now, the live chat we got going on our website is saying there are too many titles for just Raw. Do you think that's a legitimate argument for keeping two different shows? Joe?
If you're keeping two different shows, I think they're fine. I think if you're going to if you're going to merge the shows, you get rid of the world title, you merge it back into the WWE title. And I really think keeping 3 titles at that point is okay.
Okay, Kevin?
Yeah, if you're going to merge the shows, you can only have one world championship, so you have to merge those. I don't have a problem with a couple of mid-card championships. So if you want to keep the U.S. and the IC, that's fine with me.
Okay. Rob?
Well, under my system, where we go back to one roster just on 2 shows, there's no longer one show that has any more titles than the other. Everybody has a shot at the various titles. You just take the 2 world champion titles and merge them into one.
You hear that, everyone? That is the certified Rob FTW system. Tell your friends it's not a pyramid scheme. We swear. I personally, I like the brand extension. I like the idea of having 6 titles structured that way. It's very cool.
6?
So okay, 4.
Oh, right. Divas and Tag. I'm sorry.
Tag. So,
I was looking at the male titles. I apologize.
Yeah. No, I understand what you're saying. Okay, so 4 titles, mid-card, upper level. Anyway. So that's that. Moving on. This question was actually taken from a pretty serious, heated debate after Thursday's Impact, so we'll ask it here. How often should the World Championship be defended? Mike, who was on last week, said, quote, it should be defended on pay-per-view and maybe 2 to 3 times a year on free TV when trying to pop a rating. Revolted Youth on Twitter said, I like to see it defended 2 or 3 times a month if competition is warranted. Chill Mascaras is saying, I'd rather see fighting champion than a once every 30 days champion. And Mr. Lucho Libre saying the title loses value when it's defended weekly. Why buy the pay-per-view? There are other ways to advance the story. Who do you think has the better point? And keep in mind, Mike is going to be on here a lot more often, and he also does for the PW Torch. So, if we have to suck up to anybody, make it Mike. Go, Joe.
I like his idea of being pay-per-view and a few times a year and free TV. That's a great idea. I also like the idea, if it fits the character, to go Chill Mascaras seeing a fighting champion. Okay. So it depends on character.
Okay, good point. Kevin?
I'm with Mike, and it's not to suck up to QPAC. If he wants to be on, he can. He's got to be on the show. Eat it! You come on when we tell you come on! No.
Okay, that's
No. Honestly, I'd like it defended at a pay-per-view. I think it's a good, if you want to do it a couple of times a year on free TV, that's fine. But I think it should be defended at a pay-per-view, so I'm with him.
Okay. Rob.
I'm kind of with Joe here. I mean, the pay-per-view is where titles should be decided, but at the same point in time, one of my favorite titles of all time was when the WWE had the hardcore title that was defended 24/7, and you just had crazy stuff. I like the idea of a fighting champion, of somebody who will come out and say, "Hey, I'll defend this son of a bitch every week if I have to. Just bring it on." To me, that's always really rallied me behind a champion.
Okay.
My favorite is when they were pinning someone in baggage claim at the airport.
Yeah,
that was great.
Favorite moment of hardcore 24/7.
Somebody got beat in the bathroom.
Yeah. Parking lot. Oh, it was great. Outside the stadium. Oh, it was fantastic. Mike's got a good point, and I'm not just saying that because he's my buddy. I am just saying that because he's my buddy. And he knows how to cup the balls and give a good reach around. Maybe 2 to 3 times a year. I think it's a little too low. I'd like to see it a little bit higher than that, maybe half a dozen. But Chill's got a really good point. A fighting champion, I mean, you got to respect that. You got to respect somebody who comes out like Cena and put in a main event match every fucking week. So, I don't know. I mean, it's that tightrope you got to walk. All right, so time for the undercard. Just going to breeze through this real quick. Government brings up a really good point. Bret Hart was a fighting champion, and he was Canadian.
Yes, he was. That's why Bret Hart is the best there ever was, the best there was, the best there... fuck it.
Rob, you fail. You failed so hard.
That was the Rob version of the Meat Gino colored skin.
Yeah,
fuck it.
Yeah.
Rob, that's it. Turn in your wrestling. Turn in your fan card. You're done. Turn in your mark card.
Bret Hart only has a thing about girls who say a boo.
I don't care. He's got to turn in his card. That's it. That's it, Rob. Give me your gun and your badge. You're on probation. All right, so Cena's promo on Raw criticizing... Now, this is my personal thing. Cena's promo on Raw criticizing The Rock seemed to have ruffled a few feathers backstage, with the Torch reporting an anonymous source saying many wrestlers feel the same. Or did it? My theory is, could the PW Torch's source be a plant on the WWE's part to rally the frustration of the 10% behind Cena by giving him some credence by saying backstage wrestlers agree with him? Face it, we're the only ones who read the Torch. And when he went out there and when Cena said professional wrestler right to the camera, tell me you didn't mark out a little bit. You're like, what? Yeah,
not at all.
That. Not at all?
No. Now that they keep trying to push that like, oh, it's tee-hee-hee, I said professional wrestler. Come on.
The way, no, I know, but it was the way he did it. But really, do you think that maybe with that thing, all of a sudden Torch's anonymous source could be a plant by the WWE to further kind of stoke that frustrated fire a little bit and try and get some kind of heat between Rock and Cena? I mean, do you agree with me that it could be a plant?
It could be.
I don't. It could be
we've
either
seen
way.
the
I don't give a
conspiracy
fuck.
theories before. It could be.
I mean, let's face it. I mean, the reason I bring this up is because Apple does this thing all the time with the Wall Street Journal, and I'm thinking, I mean, if WWE wanted to try it, send up a test balloon, see how it does. Why not just have someone talk to the Torch and just go see what it goes? Shut up, Garvin. All right, so I'm not crazy because I can take my tinfoil hat off. No one is gonna. Fine. All right. So I'm the crazy one. I don't care.
It's the experience, Harrison.
Shut up, Joe. All right, so now some things we posted on our Facebook page this week. You can talk about these stories and more by going to facebook.com/FTW podcast. Always a good time. There are multiple reports out there right now that suggest Evan Bourne is not interested in returning to the company when his 60-day suspension ends. These reports say he'll either ask for his release or sit at home until the contract expires in the summer. There's also speculation that his second suspension was due to him purposefully trying to get caught in hopes of being released. We also posted the question, should WWE bring back WWECW? Zahir said, God, no, which I love his enthusiasm on it. Scott said, no, put FCW on TV and promote it. That's two superstars for me. Sean said, not unless they give full reins to Heyman. Connor said, only if the one from 2006. That's never going to happen. Jay said that he enjoyed WWE CW for what it wasn't. And without mentioning names, took blatant shots at superstars in NXT, but noted that we saw the starts of Sheamus, Swagger, Ryder, Bourne, and Tyson Kidd on that show. Brodus Clay has been demoted. However, we're still unclear as to what that actually means. Some reports are saying that he was sent down to FCW, like a friend of the show, Nick, posted on our wall. While others are saying that he requested to be taken off TV until he can pick his ring work up. Either way, the character's not dead, just breaking off the ring rust. Always fun to kind of speculate and discuss about this. Definitely hit us up on our Facebook page, facebook.com/FTW podcast. So now we can guide some discussion and hopefully, whatever. All right, so time for win fails. Your win of the week, go Joe.
My win of the week is Santino Marella getting actual time in the ring at Elimination Chamber and proving that he does have skill in the ring. He's not just a joke like he's been.
Okay. Fantastic. Kevin, your win of the week.
My win of the week is the upcoming battle with Rob in the Lumberjack match because, man, I fucking love these. You're going down, buddy. I got a whole week to prepare. Going down.
You're going to need it.
You are forgetting that I also have an entire week to prepare, my man. And that's also going to be my win. I am so looking forward to Kevin and I going at it. The two rage masters of the FTW.
Oh.
Well, I don't know about you, Joe. Joe, you run out, you get the inflatable pool, and I'll pick up the giant thing of lube, and we'll just have them go at it.
Yeah, like you don't already have that bedside.
Did I say I was going to buy it? No, I said I was going to pick it up. It's in my garage.
Fair enough.
It's a fucking 50-gallon drum, all right? I got to go rent a dolly from U-Haul in order to get that. Anyway, Rob. Oh, I'm sorry. Anyway, my win of the week is, did anybody kind of get that Highlander-like reference on the Triple H Taker promo? That we're the last two and it has to be us? I mean, who doesn't want that kind of, like, skirting reference Highlander thing going? I was like, oh, say there can be only one. Say there can be only one. I mean, it's like, oh, you can tell that it was so great. Oh, I was just like, oh, I just hope that slips in there. All right, fails of the week. Kevin, your fail of the week, go.
My fail is show for the throw out and injuring all those guys. I know it's an easy target, but damn. I mean, that's a bunch of dudes that got injured. And I don't even necessarily think that he did anything wrong, but it was an ugly scene, and bottom line, there's a lot of guys hurt at the worst time. So I got to give it to show, with regrets, but it was an ugly scene, and I hope they're all going to be okay sooner rather than later.
Yeah, I want to say if that's a chink in WWE's armor, but I don't want to be fired from the show.
I was trying to find some way to work that in, and I
couldn't
do it.
Garvin, what did I tell you yesterday? What did I tell you? Joe was going to get it, maybe Kevin, and right now, nobody else on the show is getting that reference. Nobody in our freaking fans are getting that reference. I love that so much. I love that I made a mainstream sports joke, and only one other guy got it.
Yeah,
the guy who hates basketball.
I'm not commenting.
Awesome. Joe, your fail of the week.
My fail of the week is WWE for booking the ambulance match to be the main event of the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. You don't do that when you have a gimmick pay-per-view called Elimination Chamber, and you don't have the Elimination Chamber be the main event.
No, yeah. I mean, it was like reverse booked. It was like Inception.
Dude, that pay-per-view was so meta.
Yeah, I know. Well, you just got to watch it in reverse, and then it all makes sense. No, it was the...
was the pay-per-view still dreaming? Do we
yes.
Yes.
And eventually Santino Marella will wake up and go, wow, I actually could do something.
And watch, and then all of a sudden it vibrates just the slightest amount, and the show ends. Awesome.
Oh,
actually, Hulk Hogan's the one who wakes up.
Okay, now I gotta go watch Inception.
Apparently, the live chat got the Jeremy Lin reference. I apologize. Congratulations, guys, who all have Google. jeez. All right, Rob, your fail of the week. Go.
My fail of the week goes to me. I mean, I'm a huge Bret Hart mark, and I just fucked up his main catchphrase. So, God, fail to me.
Yeah, really. Yeah, no, you're on probation, buddy. You're not doing Impact next week. We'll have somebody else do Impact. I got to take you off the force. You're doing a desk job. And then you're going to be down in traffic. You're going to be doing you know what you're going to be doing? You're going to be all you can do is review Divas matches. Diva Jill in the chat room is saying her fail was Santino going into the chamber. Boo. And the live chat in general is saying that the fail of the week is Chris Hero being renamed Cassius Ohno when he got moved to FCW. If that's not a wrestling hipster argument right there, I don't know what is.
Seriously.
Damn, guys.
Wake me when he actually has a match in WWE. I mean, really.
All right. My fail of the week. Okay, quick lesson in WWE. Sometimes when I want a steak, I just want a damn steak. I don't want to go out and get seared beef tips with a garlic basil foam, a potato confit with a 60-year-old Bordeaux. Sometimes I just want to go out and have a steak with fries and a beer. I don't want cute. This whole Jericho storyline and this will they, won't they rom-com shit you got going on with Punk is cute. You have the lock for WrestleMania. It's Cena versus The Rock. Whatever too clever for your own good shit you have to do with Jericho, I'm sure is great. I don't care. Just cut it thick, throw it on the grill until it's medium rare, and put it on a plate. That's all I want. That's my fail of the week. I'm so proud of that metaphor. All right, as we get closer and closer to WrestleMania, the argument is once again brought up that the WWE Hall of Fame is a shame and it's not a true Hall of Fame, blah, blah, blah. I really care. And how other groups want to start a real Wrestling Hall of Fame. You know what? That sounds great and all, but it will never settle. It'll never settle the fight. We all have our lists of wrestlers who have made an impact on us fans, and we can go back and forth forever. We wouldn't have a show if we didn't. There just will never be an objective list on when really it's, there will never be an objective list when really it's all subjective anyway. So, while we can't all agree on who was great, we can all agree on who was absolutely terrible. That's why we're announcing right here on episode 102, on Saturday, March 31st, during our live WrestleMania pay-per-view pre-show, we will be debuting the 2012 class of FTW Hall of Shame. And the people in charge of deciding who will be there, you, our many friends and family on Twitter, Facebook, and iTunes. You guys are going to determine who will be inducted into the FTW Hall of Shame for the class of 2012. We'll be making a post on our Facebook page, so get in and get involved. Tell us who the worst wrestlers of all time were, and we will consider them for the 2012 class. The first inductee will be announced next Tuesday on episode 103. Also next week, obviously, as we plugged earlier on the show, will be the return of the FTW Lumberjack match. I am so excited for this. We will see Kevin take on Rob to decide whether or not Hell in a Cell is a good stipulation between Triple H and Taker at WrestleMania 28. Special shout out to the Pro Wrestling Marks Facebook group. You guys have been awesome. We've been a part of this group for some time, had a lot of great conversations on their page. They've been also very interactive and have a very good blog at prowrestlingmarks.blogspot.com. You guys got to hit up GoDaddy or something and lock down a good URL. Definitely check them out. If you can go to our Facebook page, we've been linking to some discussions so you can find them that way too. And we're going to start giving away t-shirts from our store. So if you'd like to be in on the running to win a free t-shirt, send a question through our voicemail line, 313-444-3894. Or for those who don't make phone calls because you're, 20 years from now, you can send us any questions on any audio file to questions@ftwpodcast.com. Only audio questions will be entered into the contest, not type, because Garvin likes to play with his mixer. Yes, that is both literal and a euphemism. Make sure to include your name and your email address in the file so we can get in contact with you if you've won. Obviously, we'll delete the email address from the file before we play it on the air, but not until after we sell it to a bunch of companies so that way you get tons of spam. Question of the week. We're a little over a month away from WrestleMania 28. What match do you think is the main event? Jericho Punk, Triple H versus Taker, Bryan versus Sheamus, or Cena versus Rock? It's going to be on our Facebook page. Definitely hit us up. Looking forward to next week, guys. That Lumberjack match is going to be solid. As always, you can find this episode as well as our entire archive at ftwpodcast.com, facebook.com/ftwpodcast, twitter.com/ftwpodcast, youtube.com/the FTW Podcast. You can call us at 313-444-FTW4. That's 313-444-3894. You can send us questions at theftwpodcast.com. And please rate us on iTunes because it's ever so fun to check that and see more and more stars. Loving it. Anything else for you guys from the end of the show?
Nope.
Anybody hungry? I want a steak, dude. I think I'm about to make it like a real late run to Ponderosa.
That sounds good, actually.
Yeah. Thanks, Harrison. You know.
Is Ponderosa still around? Everyone around here's like closed.
No, we got one around here.
Seriously, the only Ponderosa I've ever seen is literally like 2 miles from me.
Oh, there's one in Farmington, dude.
I think there are a couple around where I live.
Really? Because Garvin's saying there aren't any in Ohio, and I think that's true, because there was one in Vermilion, but it closed down.
Well, that's a good thing I don't live in Ohio.